I will start to make it easier for Michal.
Good partnership here. Yes, thank you.
No, I think what is first and foremost, I have to say that presidency made a great move to put these new market access agreements on the agenda, so you can kind of feel the mood in the room, and I think that there was clearly overwhelming support for the agreements which we managed to conclude recently, be it Mercosur, be it Mexico, or be it the set of agreements we concluded with Switzerland. And I also understand that for those countries which had certain question mark over these agreements, I was going into the great details what kind of steps and what kind of measures we've been adopted to address the concerns. I mean, we are doing extremely a lot for simplifying the life of our farmers, be it the new strategic vision for agriculture, be it the omnibus, which we as a European Commission adopted yesterday, which contains quite a bulk of measures to make life of European farmers much easier, less bureaucratic. All the supportive measures which you put on the table, and also very stringent checks and controls for any agri-food products which are entering the European single market. At the same time, we also had very good discussion about the importance of these agreements from the perspective of the size. That Mercosur agreement is actually 4 times bigger than our free trade agreement with Japan, and I think now this is perceived with renewed understanding and sensitivity. But then, thanks to the program of the Polish presidency, I could also run our colleague through our advanced stage of negotiations with India, with Indonesia, with Malaysia, with Thailand, with Philippines, and renewed interest in the FTA coming from the Gulf countries, especially UAE, but also from Saudi Arabia and overall region of the GCC. I also informed the ministers about my recent trip to Singapore and Japan, where not only we signed a new digital trade agreement with Singapore, but also had very good discussion about the potential structural cooperation with the comprehensive trade partnership with Pacific countries plus Canada and UK, which represent like 30% of the global trade. And I have to say that at least the feedback I got was continue, accelerate, bring us a good agreement to the table, because we want to open these new markets. We want to create new opportunities for our businesses. We want to give the new chances to our agri-food sectors, to our farmers to export the great production coming from the European fields, and this was, I think, the gist of the conversation. So I think that what I just said a couple of minutes ago, that we are in a paradigm shift moment right now, that there is this new momentum for all those who want to lower the tariffs, who want to have free trade agreements with the European Union, is clearly there. I am always complimented when I'm talking to my partners that the EU is stable, EU is predictable, EU respects international law, we respect the agreements we sign, and we are serious and a good partner, and every single free trade agreement we have signed was mutually advantageous for both parties. We always profited on both sides when we signed the FTA. So it just proves that we know how to do it, and it serves as a, I would say, calling card for all those who are negotiating with us, that once you do a deal with Europe, you know what you are getting, and for sure it will be good for you. And that's something what we are using in our negotiations, and I hope that we'll be having more of a positive news in the coming month, because the free trade negotiations with all these countries I mentioned are advancing very positively.